In Toni Morrison's Song of Solomon, Macon Jr. is a man of greed and has a mindset of strictly business, whose objective is to constantly become more and more wealthy each day. He is the epitome of black men who live their life by a white, capitalistic way of living, even during the times of segregation and the civil rights issues between the 1940s and 1950s. Macon is a feared man in his African community due to his higher middle-class income and way of life. Macon is a man who strived to be successful and had goals to be wealthy his entire life. On his road to success and his climb up the social class, he was very brutal and heartless. He gave little pity to people he saw as inferior to him and couldn't help him along the way to achieving his goals. Essentially, having no hesitation to push people out of the way. Macon Jr. is also a married man to a woman named Ruth, who is the daughter of another very successful man in the Michigan community, Dr. Foster. Just like Macon, Dr. Foster is another man who is just as far up in the social class as Macon and is just as powerful. Dr. Foster is the one and only black doctor in the unnamed Michigan town. He hates African Americans, calling them cannibals, and he is just as feared by the people of his own race just as much as Macon Jr. is. Dr. Foster's first impressions of Macon were going to be determined by his social class, and if he had any sign of drive and determination to be successful in his future. He noticed that when Macon first married Ruth, that he only had 2 keys. It showed that he was a step down from him in the social class, but showed a slight glimpse of success, like the sun behind the horizon, in which was a good enough standard in Dr. Foster's eyes for his daughter. Dr. Foster owned a 12-bedroom house, where Macon and Ruth lived in the first beginning years of their marriage. Macon and Dr. Foster's relationship seemed to be friendly at first, but as time went on, the relationship between Macon and Dr. Foster became bitter and only existed at all because of their relationships with Ruth.